Hi everyone, it's Lucy from My Crazy Craft Life, and I'm here today with the design team post for Scrapping for Less. Today I'm going to be using the stamp set Cold Hands from Waffle Flower, and I'm going to be using some silver glitter sticky sheet paper from Teresa, and I'm going to cut that down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 so that it can fit on the entire front panel for the front panel of the card, and I'm going to be making an A2 size card. Then I'm going to take some tumbled glass and faded denim distress oxides and just use the cloud stencil to kind of create a background. I'm not too concerned about this because most of it's going to be covered up, but just to give it the idea. In the bottom I just left white since this is going to be a snow background. Those are the colors that I used to color in the images. The images I stamped with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I didn't do that in the video, but this is also the colors that I used for the inside of the card, so that's why I have two different pictures there. So once I get through coloring all of these up, I'll finish putting together this card. I do cut all of the images out with my scan and cut machine, so that made it nice and simple. The circle that I used for the card panel, or on the card panel, that I stuck up towards the top of the card because I was going to put a banner down on the bottom with the sentiment, or towards the bottom with the sentiment. And that circle is about 3 1/4 inches. I used another circle underneath that I taped onto the card panel, the one that I had did the distress oxide blending on, and that was about 3 1/2 inch circle. So once, like I said, I finished coloring these up, I just used some warm grays for the mice and then just colored up their little scarves and hat. I had stamped quite a few trees, but then I decided I wasn't going to be able to put all of those on that small circle, so I just didn't bother coloring them. So there, I got them all cut out. Now I do take the one tree stamp that is kind of separated, so it would have been hard or difficult for the scan and cut to try to cut out. So I decided just to stamp that with some Lucky Clover. And then the rest of them I adhered onto that little circle panel. And that gave it some dimension and some depth to the image anyway, with the ones that are stamped on the background and then the ones that are on top of it. Now, like I said, I'm putting that towards the top of the card, and then I pop on the glitter paper over that. I do pop up the mouse images, and then I'm also going to use some foam tape to pop up the sentiment strip. Now the sentiment strip, I do cut it down to about 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches, because after I had stamped this image, I decided that I wanted it to be a little bit smaller. I thought it took up too much of the base. So I just stamped the Cold Hands, and then on the inside I stamped Warm Heart along with the stamp of the mittens, that the string kind of creates a heart. And so that I will do in a moment. And at first I was just going to stamp this by hand, but then I thought better of it since I already had this card complete. I didn't want to screw it up, which I'm really glad I did, because I did stamp it well the first time. So I do stamp that with VersaFine Black Onyx ink, and then I'm just going to use the Copics to color in the mittens really quickly. I don't do a whole lot to that. I just wanted to give it a little bit of color, and I thought the reddish pink colors were really cute to go with that, with the little mittens that kind of create that heart. So once I finish that up, I just adhere everything onto the card. I used Hero Arts moss for the sentiment on the outside of the card. And then once I get finished popping all of those on, that is it for the card. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Head over to Scrapping for Less and grab your stamp set here, or some glitter paper. The glitter paper, I have to say, the silver is much better than the gold. I didn't notice it being all over the place when I used it this time, and it worked really, really well. So thanks for joining me. I hope everybody enjoyed this, and take care.